Do you have a piece of cast iron that sticks to everything you cook in it? Have you done all the right things but still can't cook without needing a chisel to get the food out of the pan? Well, don't throw out that iron skillet just yet. Stay tuned because I'm going to show you how to remove that rough surface and make your cast iron nearly non-stick. If you're like me, you remember your grandmother cooking in cast iron and needing little more than a paper towel or damp cloth to get it clean. So you went out and bought a brand new skillet thinking this would be the perfect addition to your healthy kitchen. You did all the right things. You seasoned it, you used plenty of fat, you got it sizzling hot before ever putting food in it. And in the end, you discovered this is not your grandmother's cast iron. The reason for the difference is that today's cast iron isn't made the same way it was just a few decades ago. That antique pan likely spent as many as 4 days in production. Cast iron used to sit up to 3 days in the mold, then was polished in a tumbler for up to 24 hours. The result was a finish that ranged from satin smooth to a mirror finish. As recently as the 1990s, you could buy a Lodge skillet with a polished cook surface. That changed in 1998 when that 3 to 4 day process was reduced to 90 minutes and the surface was left rough with the texture of the sand it was molded in. The reason, according to Lodge, is that the rough surface helps the seasoning stick to the pan better. Unfortunately, it helps everything else stick too. So here's how I fixed my cast iron. I used this angle grinder and these sanding and polishing pads made for metal. I've seen people also use an orbital sander or sanding and polishing attachments for the drill. Regardless to which one you choose, the process will be the same. Starting with a very rough sanding disc, we used 50 grit. I knocked down the bumps until they appeared almost smooth. Then I changed to a higher grit and did it all over again. In fact, what I used was this flap disc. You can keep working at it until your cook surface has a mirror finish, but that isn't entirely necessary. As long as it's mostly smooth, it'll perform better than it did when new. Once your cook surface is smoothed out, wash your pan very well and season it. Get your pan hot, rub it all over with fat, let it cook on a bit, then wipe off the excess. Now you have an iron skillet even your grandmother would have enjoyed using. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to follow along as I learn and share the skills I'll need to transition from town life in Washington State to an off-grid homestead in Michigan's Upper Peninsula.